125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at Sori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch, we have the entire house basically is sick right now.
Pretty sure all of us have COVID.
Pretty sure as well.
But we soldier on, dear listener.
Mm-hmm. We're here for you.
We are here for you. We are committed to this ish.
Yeah, Vinny was looking at some videos earlier, and there was this guy that like stacked bricks, like 15 high on his head. And I was like, whoa, I'm so glad I don't have that guy's job.
Yeah.
We're here to listen to some music.
Yeah. So, okay, guys, here we go. Now, we told you guys there's lots of ways to get your song reviewed. You can get to the top of the list, all that jazz. But to be honest with you, beautiful people, my favorite version of what we do is this one. You get alliances. The alliances get together. There's some negotiation. There's some this. There's some that. And then we take off. So here we go, boys and girls, and anything and everything in between. The first song we're doing it's the name of the band is Poppy.
Yeah.
Or
the name of the song is Interweb. This is for Anarchy 99, who the leader of this is Negative Vibes. Winner of our A99 theme poll titled, Sori Music. For context, we had Sori provide a small playlist of music she likes that Vin, derisively calls her music. And went wild submitting similar music in that same style. The winner submitted by Archero comes from the enigmatic pop metal performance artist known as Poppy, titled Interweb. Interesting.
All right.
Hey, wait, where's my headphones? Oh, we were
recording. Yes, we're recording new music, dear listener. So, Soraya's headphones are. Hey, what? Can you? Do you have the water with the rainbow water thingy with some ice? A little bit under the weather, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yesterday we had to give little Orion a cold shower. He was pretty upset about that. But, he's in a situation. You know what I'm saying? He was sick. Reza's sick today. You know how it goes. So it's spreading all throughout the house. But it's all good. It's all good, dear listener. It is what it is. Who is this on my picture? Wrong answers. Let me see, Jaden. Let me put your thingy up here and see if I can. It's too small. It looks like, is that Ice Cube? That looks like Ice Cube to me, Jaden. Jaden 6'4". Shout out to the big homie Ice Cube. Shout out to Jonathan Cologne. God bless you. Stay safe. For show. Middle Earth in the house. Obviously, glad to see you, my man. It'd be great to see Middle Earth in the house. Applejack. Holy shit. FBI agent Elvis Chan gave Twitter. That's insane. I'm going to have to shoot a Middle America video pretty soon here. Send me a link to that. All right, guys, here we go. Isaac Spiva in the house. Here we go. Shout out to SGS. Excited for a great stream. We're just waiting for Sister Sori to show up and plug the thingamajiggy in so we can get to rocking and get to rolling.
All right. Let's go.
Okay. Here we go, guys. Poppy, Interweb, Song 1, Anarchy 99. Let's do this shit. Yep, here's Sori's music. This is about it.
No, we don't. Well, let's see.
I forgot what my password is. Maybe it's password 123. I feel the technology beat deep inside of me, These days I don't have far to go. Now that I got you on my screen, when you're down and you're alone, I'll be there watching. I caught you in my interweb. I caught you in my internet.
Oh, I thought I was saying interweb again.
Well, maybe I'm a spider, or maybe I'm a fisherman. My breathing code is binary, and my lunch is still processing. I feel like I know everything deep inside of me, These days I don't have far to go. Now that I got you on my screen, when you're down and you're alone, I'll be there watching. I caught you in my interweb. I caught you in my internet. Well, maybe I'm a spider, or maybe I'm a fisherman. And the world feels smaller when it's at my fingers. So let's keep talking. Tell me what day is it? Can't turn it off, yeah. I'm wrapped up with it. So let's keep talking. Tell me what day is it? I caught you in my interweb. I caught you in my internet. Well, maybe I'm a spider, or maybe I'm a fisherman. I caught you in my interweb. I caught you in my internet. Well, maybe I'm a spider, or maybe I'm a fisherman.
That was song numero uno.
Interweb.
Poppy. Interweb. Interweb. I think I know what she's talking about.
Okay.
The music, Mike, I'm not a fan of pop music, especially pop music like this. I'm just not going to lie to you.
Yeah, I feel like this song...
They said in the thing that I derisively refer to this as your music, but here we are, dear listener. Go ahead.
I feel like that this song captures what Vin explains my music as.
100%.
Not what my actual music is. When I was 16 though, I would have loved this song. And I think a lot of the picks that I gave them to like, these are kind of some of the things I liked. I think there were a lot of picks that were stuff from when I was like a teenager.
You listened to stuff like this when you were a teenager?
Once I was 16, then I could listen to stuff in my own car. No, this would have been more something that my friend Simon would have brought over. And we would have like filled the house with...
Shout out to Simon.
You know, a fog machine.
You guys did that?
Yeah, my parents left and we knew they were going to be gone for a little while. And we were like, you know what? Let's just do it. Because they were very strict. So we filled the entire house. He brought over his fog machines. We filled the whole house.
Fog machine satanic? Was that like a thing?
Well, they didn't let us. So we had techno music blasting. We filled the whole place with that fog machine, and he also brought over those lights, like the different disco lights and all kinds of lights. And the way that my parents' house used to be set up, the kitchen and the living room was like basically a rectangle box, and the living room was on one side, the kitchen was on the other side, and in the middle there was a wall. So you could like run from one side and you could like go in a circle, just keep running around the wall. They don't have it anymore, but...
So while you and Simon are cavorting in sin...
And my sister and my brother too.
So while you guys are all cavorting in sin, like the children of Israel at Mount Sinai.
No.
And the fog music was playing, this type of song with this type of beat would be in the background.
Yeah, this would work.
This is a soundtrack to the orgy of sin, dear listener. Here we go. La 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 la.
No.
I think the COVID has like gotten to my brain, so now I'm like saying shit like without a filter.
Yeah,
this is probably not going to be.
This is how Vin really feels about me. I guess
it's probably not going to be a very good night, inshallah.
We apologies in advance, but both of us should be in bed right now.
Yeah. So,
okay.
So this is.
Is she talking about like
at the same time though
being spied on?
At the same time, I feel like what the fuck?
What?
I'm just looking at Apple. I gotta do a Middle America after this. So while the song, in my view, was typical pop monolithic boringness, sonically is what it felt like to me. What she's saying is pretty significant and pretty contemporary. It's really interesting contemporary commentary. So She says, I forgot what my password is. Maybe it's password 123. I feel the technology beat deep inside of me. These days I don't have far to go now that I've got you on my screen. When you're down and you're alone, I'll be there watching you. So it's like, it's the relationship now people have to the internet, and we talked about this like in the first year, like when the channel was starting to go crazy, and you get YouTube stats and shit, and like we had hit like 1 million views, which was a pretty. I mean, now we're at like it's impossible to like really like even fathom like what all that means. But I remember one time it was like 2 a.m. or something. We were playing a video. I forgot what we were doing, and I was like, "Yo, somebody's looking at you like right now, dude."
Yeah, that was weird.
And it was like a weird...
Yep.
That was so weird to think through. Like, yo... Like this whole thing that we're all caught up in, like, is brand new to the human experience. Like, this is not... like... we have no template for this. So... It's a very interesting type of situation that we're all caught up in now with the internet. And it's like, now that I've got you on my screen, when you're down and you're alone, I'll be there watching you. It's like, you're watching the screen, but at the same time, like, we know that the screen is watching us to a degree. In the sense of, like, even basic things like sale things like cookies. Like, oh, you go to this website, and all of a sudden now you've got, 50.
Even look at their website unless you agree to the cookies.
Right. Yeah. Some of the websites won't let you on unless couple Senate hearings and things like that. And now you've got websites that are like, we value your privacy and all the rest of it. But it's like, it's a really crazy thing. Like, now you're being watched by your computer in the sense of, and then all the Twitter stuff came out, the Facebook stuff came, the Facebook was really the big criminal in this, about Zuckerberg and harvesting all the information and selling it to all these different people and not letting people know. That's where all the recent, like, hey, we value your privacy cookie stuff came about, was that Senate hearing with Zuckerberg, where it was like so obvious that that's where he was getting a lot of his billions, was the data mining of people's personal information. And now, like, you'll see memes where people like, yo, I had a thought, and then all of a sudden that thought appears on the which of course I think is is something of a heuristic to a degree. It's like, yeah, the stuff that you think about obviously is going to be relative to the websites you were looking at. So you forgot that you looked at XYZ website 2 weeks ago, but the algo didn't forget. So people think like, oh, Zuckerberg and Amazon has mind reading technology, and to a degree, like, you can algorithmically figure out how to read a person's mind. Like, a lot of the old school, cold readers, there's courses on that in the agency.
Yeah, I guess I just don't think that it's very difficult when you're talking about technology and you know, like, the way that they can program. Well, you guys were just talking about that place where you can go and you can ask
Google?
No.
Well, I mean, I don't
you
know.
must
You're
really think low of me.
No, you're sick.
My God.
You're sick.
Google. No, it was like some, like, you're not talking to robot. Well, yeah, it's AI. You go in there and you type that thing in.
Oh, the GBT chat or whatever that thing is.
Yeah, stuff like that. Or
Brand
if you
new
just
shit.
like, if you just step back and you just look at people's patterns. So there are some people that are aggressive people that are always going to take the hardest route because they always want to know, like, I did the hardest shit. Then there are other people that are like literally looking for what's the least possible amount of work that I can do to accomplish what I need to accomplish.
Right.
So once you're able to read off of people's, their searches and their different stuff, like, if you can see that someone is a lazy person and you just came out with like a dishwasher,
right,
everybody's gonna probably want one. You're probably gonna put that up in their thing. You know what I mean? Like, I think that some stuff is, I'm sure there's some shisty stuff going on and we're being watched when we don't want to be watched and whatnot. But I also think that there are other things where it's just like, well, yeah, but so that's just obvious.
Before the big Before, the big conspiracy theorists used to say that the government was watching you and all this stuff, but I mean, it's true. Now that you have a Facebook, you're voluntarily putting all your information out there. You know what I'm saying? And so now it's kind of like a weird kind of situation where it's like the government doesn't necessarily need to spy on you because everybody's updating everybody on what they're doing, where they're going. You've got location services on your iPhone. You got to disable that shit. Like, people don't even know that they have location services on their iPhone. You have, Find My iPhone, like, where, like, literally, like, gangsters have used it to track people down and kill them. Like, dudes in Chicago. I swear to God, like, some of those ops that these guys do, like, they should be working for the government, man. Like, the way that they, but, like, it's pretty crazy. It's a pretty crazy situation. This line stuck out to me too. My breathing code is B binary and my launch is still processing. I feel like I know everything, which is true. Like people nowadays do feel like they know everything because of Google. I mean, there's a lot of other reasons why people like Google kind of does give you like this pseudo omniscience to a degree. Like people feel like I was having a conversation with this atheist dude yesterday, and it has nothing to do with atheism because this happened. We saw this in COVID. We saw this in, whatever. But he was asking me a specific question. Tell me about a time when people have demonstrated the ability to use a mind without a physical body. So I showed him
right.
a peer-reviewed document that's got 35 years of data relative to NDEs. And the conclusion, the guy who, it's a .gov website, for God's sake. And at the conclusion, the guy basically said, look, we've got 35 years of data and there is no physiological brainwave explanation for this. There's none. And the guy just went, ah! He just completely dismissed it. Like, the
Unbelievable.
that the concept of
Yeah.
like, okay, these people are recognized experts in the field because those people can be accessed from the same apparatus that Uncle Joe can be quoted. People almost think that they're equivalent because before Google and stuff, you could
it's
only
not like
access,
you were going to see your words written in an encyclopedia or anything.
Sadat, you could only access expert opinion from Encyclopedia Britannica, so it came with a certain kind of authority to it. And now it's like, well, that guy is there, and so is Uncle Joe, who has his own theory about whatever, and so people are like, well, you have that, and I have this. It's like, yeah, but this guy is an expert in the field, and he's talking about 35 years of empirical data, and you're guy who is not qualified to speak on it, but it's the same thing because it's in the same place, and then you get, I'm sorry, man, situations like the COVID situation last couple of years where it's like people were not above board and the experts were not above board, and now now the guy that was quoting Uncle Jimmy is even more emboldened now because these people were not being completely honest. Now, of course, Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson, rest of these guys, they have a financial stake in going with the narrative. I don't think that they had some big conspiracy to like vaccinate everybody for population control. It's just plain capitalism with those people. But now, because they were not completely above board, people are not looking at it like, well, here's another capitalist sort of situation. They're looking at it in the larger context of a larger conspiracy. It's a complete mess. And now everybody feels like their opinion on something is equivalent to the opinion of an expert. And then when you have a COVID type situation happening, forget it. You know, now people are like, the confirmation bias is up to like 59 now because people are like, man, these people, you know what I'm saying? You are following, trust the experts, trust, like, science took a really, really big hit. Yeah. You know, during the whole COVID situation. And, you know, the term trust the science and all the rest of it, I understand that was never a wise phrase to use and put out into the zeitgeist. But, so yeah, that line right there is like, I feel like I know everything is it really does tell you like the state of where we are in the world right now. You know what I'm saying? Archero says, in my expert opinion, you should not trust any experts. Well, I mean, yeah, that's where people are at. That's where a lot of people are at to a degree. Like, I don't blame them. But at the same time, like, part of me feels like, you know, are we mature enough yet to be able, as humanity, to be able to handle the pseudo-omniscience that the internet gives you? You know what I'm saying? And, like, how does that affect our relationships? That's the other thing. Like, I've got, you know, there's people that, like, kind of cross over from the virtual world to the, quote, real world to me. Like certain people like have my phone number and I talk to, or like I reached out to Middle a week or two ago. I was like, yo, pray for me, blah, blah, blah. Like, cause that's some shit I would do like with my real friends. And like, you know, I've got, you know, Perkinos is my like I would pay to like move him like to where we're going. Like literally I would. He's like, well, that's a pretty big ask, he says. I floated the idea to him like 6 months, like, no bullshit. Like, that's my guy. So it's like, I met all these people on the internet. Like, we met Zonia. You know, you were very emotional when we finally got to meet Zonia for the first. So it's like, but then at the same time, I kind of feel like, I'm like, damn, like, I don't know, bro. Like, is encouraging internet relationships really a healthy thing? Because in the internet, you don't really know a person. You only know like one side of a person. You only know what that person...
Yeah, what they choose to put out there.
Right. And so like, are you actually fostering actual real relationships that way? It's something I think about a lot. And I'm like how much screen time, like if you create these environments where people can have like this constant loop of affirmation or at least finding people who are like you? How much of that is you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of like back and forth to that stuff, and like how healthy or unhealthy is it? But at the same time, I'm like, there's been millions of people throughout human history who were by themselves, off in a cottage somewhere, lived and died, nobody cared, that type of thing. And like if they had an internet, they'd be able to also connect with other people in cottages all over the world, and they'd create a little cottage Discord, and they would actually have real friendships and all that. And and why is the internet relationship not as valid as the real world relationship? And what does that even mean, the real world? What does that mean? Like, because you're in physical proximity with somebody, now you like there's a lot of really hard questions for me to answer relative to the effect of the internet onto people. You know what I'm saying? So what were your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I think that it depends. I haven't put a lot of thought into it. I think it depends on how you're running those relationships. So, somebody could be face to face with somebody, and you could really not know a whole lot about the person if they choose to hide themselves from you. Where if you're on the internet, you're not face to face with the person, but they can choose to give you more information that they would have given to you if you were face to face. So I think it really depends on the people, the two or three or however many people are involved in this friendship. And obviously I don't think that your online relationships should make it so that way your like real life relationships just
but why are we making a dichotomy between online and real life? That's a struggle I'm having. Like, what does that mean, real life relationships? Like, for example,
I'm talking about like people that are in your vicinity. So like
physically,
the
physicality of it is
I don't
what
think
makes
you should,
it real.
Yeah, well, no. Well, yeah, I mean, that's how I'm defining it. I'm defining the physical. I'm talking about like you have your, like if somebody has online relationships and friends that they have and different groups that they like to chat in and grow themselves as a person and all that, I think that that's great. I don't think that you remember how, like, I don't know how it is now, but like I knew this person that said that they were playing it was an online game that was like, it was an entire world, and you joined groups and you guys would fight together, and like
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I actually think that's the one that it was.
Yeah.
Right. But people were like, I'm not speaking for everybody, I'm just talking about the people that I know. They spent so much time in there that they neglected the people in their life around them. Like there was this one mom, she was like, hold on a second, I gotta feed my kids. And so she pauses their little crew, and I guess she was just gone for like just like a couple minutes, and the person was like, what did you make them? And then she was like, I threw some peanut butter in between 2 slices of bread and gave it to them. So like she was neglecting her children. She was not taking care of her children because she was having this online crew. Like I think that if everything is balanced, like you're taking care of the people that are around you, and you're not losing your marriage or your kids or something vitally important because you're in too many forums online. Because I think that either one of them you could be not real. I think that it's a little easier for people that see you face to face to know if you're in a bad spot.
Like we've been to a bunch of churches where in our vantage point, the whole thing was fake.
Oh yeah.
And we were physically there.
Yep.
Like I've had more personal conversations with Perk about shit than people I've went to church with for.
Sure.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, what makes a relationship authentic? Is it so it's a real relationship? If it's in the physical world versus in the.
Oh no, I don't think so. I think that the more authentic a relationship is, the more transparent both parties are.
Right,
not
but
just
when you
one.
said the real world, you're dichotomizing an internet relationship from the real world.
Yeah, that was just the way that I'm explaining it, because I don't think that people should neglect their family.
I do. I make that distinction too. What I'm saying is I'm not sure how realistic that or how true that distinction is, to say that the physical world is the real world and the internet world is not the real world. It's like in the physical world, because we say in the internet, like, oh, you're only seeing one aspect of a person, but that's also in the physical world, especially in certain contexts, like churches, for example. Like, I'm not slamming churches. Obviously, those are our people. I'm just saying, like, that environment creates a certain kind of, perception that you only. It's the same thing with the gym. The gym has a certain kind of culture. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So like. So I don't know. I think it's one of those things where it's like, it can be used for building or destroying, I guess. But it was, so the song itself was kind of like, oh my god, this is the poppy song. It's repetitive. It's not going anywhere. But she's really talking some shit here. Like when she says like, am I a spider or a fisherman? Because she's going with the interweb. So because it's an interweb, then there's a spider, and then you kind of get drawn into the web of the spider, right? Or a fisherman, and fishing is like one of these internet scams. They'll send you an email, blah blah blah. So it's like it's fraught. You've got this online landscape that's fraught with all of this danger, whether it's being sucked into a vortex to where like you're saying like you've got screaming kids in the background, but you're so sucked into World of Warcraft that you're gonna neglect them, or dudes getting sucked into online pornography and the completely destructive effects, or women destructive effects of that black hole. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of.
Well, I do think that the internet has a way of showing us who we are. Because I think that, again, going back to the real world discussion, like when the physical world you're in, you may not say or do or show certain parts of your sinful self in the real world. I mean, I don't know if you were there, but Jank was talking about like somebody's information just being put out there for everybody to see, and he was like, would all the right wingers want to have all their information put out there? All your thoughts and everything is out there for everybody. Yeah. Like obviously everybody has a sin nature and everybody has to deal with that. But I think that, there's a difference between having sinful desires or like wanting to do something that's wrong and like warring against that within yourself, recognizing that that's not healthy. It's not good for you. It's not good for the other people or whatever, depending on what the thing is. And then, there's sometimes where people just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm going right into it. I'm going all in. Right. And I think that the internet gives people the opportunity to say, fuck it, I'm going all in, because you have incognito and you have different ways that you can hide. I don't know how hidden everybody is, because I don't really know, like, could somebody just pull that all up and everybody see where you've been and what you've been doing for the last year and a half? I don't know. But I do think that people can hide.
What? All those hot blondes on Facebook that send me, I want to get to know you better messages are really just fishing? I don't know, Snoopy. Yeah. So
I'm saying that I think that the internet can be also helpful in a way, because if you're honest with yourself, you can see where you're really at,
Yeah. So it was a very significant lyrical offering packaged into a very boring poppy, in my mind, unidimensional song.
This is not my type.
So I don't know exactly how to. This is going to be an interesting rating for me. Go ahead. What do you got?
It was lyrically repetitive, which I don't have a problem necessarily with repetitive lyrics, as long as it's something that's really like makes me want to sing along with it.
Yeah.
This one didn't necessarily do that. And I am not a fan of female voices that sound young, like babyish. Like her voice was like
really
overly sweet, I guess you could say.
This is a new development.
Honey, what do you mean? I like, like in this moment where she sounds like really, I've always said I like desperate vocals and stuff like that. So if they sound too
But a lot
sweet,
of the pop shit you listen to doesn't sound like
you don't even know what I listen to. I mean, honestly, babe. What do I listen to?
I mean, I hear it. I don't know what it is.
You very rarely hear it.
Okay.
I don't listen to it a whole lot around anyway. So, and to be honest with you, I think I'm in like a musical transition where I'm not liking the things that I used to like as much, and I'm not really sure, but I don't know where I'm at with it. But this one was kind of meh for me. I'm going to give this one a 7.2.
I'm going to give this song a solid 6. I was going to give it a 2, but the lyrical content generated so much discussion. What's up, Saber Wolves? It generated so much discussion that I had to give it some points for that, out of respect.
I even think I gave it more points because you guys picked it for me. I think I probably would have like leveled at like a 6 or a 6.5, but I went up to a 7.2 because I thought
Sori, always friendly to people.
It meant something to me.
Friendly to everybody except for little old me.
Stop.
We have more songs coming for you, dear listener. We are sick, but we are plunging through because our people deserve it, damn it!
Yes.
Fade out.
Sorry out.
Go! We shall return. Commercial break. We'll be right back. Let's go. I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get matched down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull
You
that off.
can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord,
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
and they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Hey guys, we are coming back. We had the little babies were still up. I don't know why. So they're getting to bed now. The 3-year-old and the 2-year-old are going to bed right now. They're up an hour and a half past their bedtime. Ridiculous. Denise should be back soon. Vin and Sori's Cherry Reaction channel. Yeah. Yes, that's right. And a child shall lead them to buy our merch. You know what would be cool? Is if some night, when I have nothing to do, which will never happen, but to come on and do my own live stream, and you guys keep throwing song suggestions at me. But I don't listen to the full song. I just listen to the beginning and decide whether or not I like it. Because I think that Vin is right. When we left the room, he was like, I don't think you even know what type of music you like right now. And I think he's right. I think I'm in a transition spot where I'm not really sure.
Huh?
What you said, where you said that you didn't think that I even know what type of music I'm into at this point. I think I've grown too much since the old music I used to listen to, and I haven't figured out a new little spot to be in.
I see.
Okay.
All right. You both sound like garbage. Get some sleep.
No.
Well, that's good. That's good to know. Shout out to my homie Ken Cabbage. Ken Cabbage is my man. Okay, guys.
Yeah, it is pretty cold right now.
Here we go. Song numero dos.
Okay, let me pull
What's
that
the name
up.
of the song numero dos?
The name of the song, well, it's Tiger Army Ghost Fire.
Okay.
The winner of the A99's October Psychobillion Horror Punk poll, submitted by Revo, is
Horror Punk
poll, is
Interesting.
Ghostfire by the California psychobilly band Tiger Army. Psychobilly is a genre, as a genre can be described pretty well as an unholy mix of rockabilly, think 50s emergent rock and roll, and hardcore punk, though the style can range pretty heavily from angry twang at thrash metal speeds to laid back and spooky. Okay, Ghostfire, Tiger Army.
Yeah, I've
Oh, wait.
also taken a liking to post-punk since the channel. For show. For show. Which is why I love that setting on guitar.
I think Ghost.
That post-punk setting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
why.
love that setting on guitar. You love that setting on guitar too.
I do. Ghostfire, I think, is the name of the band.
All right, guys, here we are. Ghostfire, Tiger Army. Let's do it. Sounded a little Christmassy at the beginning.
Yeah.
There was a rockabilly band that I forgot the name of that band. We saw them with Slipknot. They're the ones that gave us the
pick.
The pick. And the people were saying, yeah, they're kind of like a rockabilly band. I forgot the name. But what did they say about the rockabilly genre? What did they say? It's like psychobilly is a genre that can be described pretty well as an unholy mix of rockabilly and hardcore punk. Okay. Yeah, I don't think it was psycho. It wasn't a psychobilly band. It was a rockabilly band, I think.
Oh.
The guy had the hat.
I know which band it is. I can
Rodgers.
picture him. Yeah, I remember all that.
Yeah,
I just don't remember what the name of the band was.
Yeah, and I'm like, why were they on tour with Slipknot? That was so weird.
That was very weird.
It wasn't Cage Yellow. It was a really big band at the time. Volbeat.
That's right. That's what it was.
How did Archero know that? Holy shit.
He always knows all these things.
I know. You get Archero or yeah, it's crazy. Kel usually knows the shit. I'm like, blah blah blah. Kel,
yeah.
Kel's not here right now, but whatever. Okay. Oh shit! There's Kel right there, and there's Kel. It was likely Volbeat. Holy shit!
There he comes.
I told you. He always knows.
Yep.
Shout out to Caladros. Unseen to the eyes, but it plays in your heart. First of all, maybe because it followed up the previous song, but I really liked the musicianship in this song.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated how people can keep a beat and still like create that variation so it's not boring. But the beat was the count was kind of like if you went like this and stomped your feet, you'd be able to like follow along with it. But they did a lot of shit with the instrumentation that created the variation. I love shit like that.
Oh, nice.
Because I'm not disciplined to be able to do that. I'd be like, we gotta change the beat around. It's too boring. Blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I've seen you. Yeah. What about the vocal style for you? Was it too country, or were you good with that, or how'd you feel about that?
It felt well. I
thought it sounded like country and a little bit of an Elvis-y sound in there a little bit at some point.
Yeah. Well, that's that Volbeat like band. That's like the 50s rock. Like Elvis is like 50s rock, so that's like where it came from.
Yeah.
But I also felt like
it was an interesting mix. I thought
I felt like a Western, like I'm in the saloon type shit.
Yeah.
With the hat and the spittoon
I
and
agree.
shit. The guy had the you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh shit, we had an unopened can of poison here.
I was gonna say super sugar.
I can't even drink it anymore. It's terrible. You know what? I think that's the plexus.
Oh,
remember they were saying like you have a real
yep.
like aversion to like super sweet shit once you start eating plexus. Anyway, guys, plexus. Shout out to plexus.
We're not selling it. But
We're not selling it, but we probably should. This is just pure water, dear listener. Okay.
Oh, I thought that the song was interesting though. The lyrics.
Go ahead, go for it.
Well, I never saw anybody do that. So when he's talking about the ghost fire, he's talking about like basically the burning that comes from like what like intense love, but that it's different versions of it. Like the fire is a fire, but the ghost fire is what like comes before and after, or maybe after it. I mean,
I thought the ghost fire is what happens after love has like not died, but like the breakup.
It replaces it. Yeah. It's still that burning.
But it's like...
But he says it's there and right there, unseen to the eyes, but ablaze in your heart. It torches from the inside just as it haunts.
Right.
It is unknown to young lovers, intoxicated by spring.
Right.
So it's that same burning that young lovers feel is also that burning at the end that is what the love was.
Yeah.
It's a pretty interesting concept. I liked it.
Yeah, and I've only really felt that one time with one breakup in my life, which is fascinating.
Really?
Yeah, the marriage thing, it was like so dead for so many years that like I kind of went through that iteration while we were still married. You know what I'm saying? Until Sori finally said, "I'm sick of this. I'm out of here." But there was like one breakup where it was like I basically broke up with her for her own good, basically type of situation. So I didn't like that was like still there for a while for sure. For sure. Would you say the same thing about Homeboy?
Yeah. Yep.
With the marriage or the band guy?
No, the band guy.
The band guy, yeah. Yeah, you had that. That's such an interesting way to put it too, Ghostfire. That's really good. Yeah. Yeah. So here's a weird question that I'm only asking you because I'm sick. Does it bother you that I brought her up like that? Like it's like me and you, it's completely separate situation. But I was talking about how I felt in high school. Like,
oh yeah, I know. Yeah, it does.
Oh, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. Like I don't have any. Like I could see her today and be like, I mean, you know how I get down. I wouldn't even say anything to her. But yeah. But that's it. I've only experienced that once in my entire life. And that's so fast. It says right there, like, it's unknown to young lovers intoxicated by spring. Mm-hmm. It is true, though, like, there's a certain sort of, I don't know, cynicism you get when you get, and if you've had a couple of those. That I think that I feel like privileged that I haven't had a couple of those. I only had one of those. Like I would probably be a very cynical person relative to love if like something happened to me and you. Like I would be an extremely cynical person relative to love after that. You know what I'm saying? Like if me and you didn't work out like that would be the end of that. I'd be like, man, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, it's not really real. But when you're young. And it's like the first time, and you're, you know, and it's like the Romeo and Juliet shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fun. It never lasts, though, in my opinion. What about you? You think that?
Well, which question? I felt like there was a lot of questions in there.
Yeah, there is a lot. Just go ahead. I'll ask the questions later. I felt like I've already got myself in some trouble. Go ahead, interpret the song as you would.
No, I mean, I just, it is a sad concept. Like when you're talking about it, like it makes me feel like really emotional and I'm like holding it in. But like the idea that something can be like good and then really good and then it's over and you're still looking back at it and just like how that, that can still be there and then your heart can like move on. But I don't know, that just, it's just a sad sort of topic, but I liked the way he worded it.
Yeah.
And I've never seen it worded like that, but it definitely.
I was just about to say that. That's such a interesting way to conceptualize.
Yes, the concept of it.
Yeah.
It just like kind of caught me off guard and made me emotional. But for me, like when I hear something like this, I don't even think. But before you, I would have thought of the band guy. But even like now that I'm with you, like I think to myself, whew, that's how it would be like if something happened to us. So this, I guess like this relationship to me invalidates the band guy one. Like not invalidates it because I still think it was real, but like just makes it seem so small, I guess you could say. I'm not really sure how to describe it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't use invalidate, but it just when I compare the two, I'm like, it just seemed like thin or superficial. Like the feelings were intense for a short period of time, but compared to what me and you have, it just makes it feel a little bit superficial. Whereas if I would have went and told myself that, I'd have been like, shut blah blah blah, you know, it's real, yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if it's the first time, like that's the thing. It's like you have nothing to compare it to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like now I have something to compare it to. I'm like, okay, would me and Shorty, would we have been able to survive XYZ? Hell, I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Like we were never. There's a whole aspect of my life that she wasn't, you know, she wasn't even involved in, as far as like there are decisions I made with you that I'd have never made with her. You know what I'm saying? Like career decisions, like that wasn't even a thought process. Like I was in a version of that with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she was always stop, blah blah blah. And I'm like, those are my boys. What are you talking about? Like that was, and it wasn't even a question. You know what I'm saying? Whereas with you, obviously it was a much bigger thing than they were my boys, but you know what I'm saying? Like with you, it was like, okay, that's done. Like I did the arithmetic. I was like, if I'm gonna be with her, there's no way I'm gonna continue to do this. Like there's just no way it's gonna happen. And I dropped, you know. Right. I would have never done that with her. You know what I'm saying? So now I have like that to compare to, and I'm like, oh, okay, well then I wasn't really feeling her like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of a weird thing, because, like, the things that she wanted me to stop doing, like, there was no question I was not going to stop. And if she would have made that, like, contingent on our relationship, I'd have been like, bye. But I had, like, really intense feelings for her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it could be a time thing. Because when you're young, what you think what chances you'll take are different than when you're older. When you're older, you're like, no, you know what, this works.
No, that has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it. It had nothing to do with any of that. It was just, it was you or them. You know what I'm saying? And if she would have put me in a position where it was them or her, I'd have chose them. No thought at all. I mean, I essentially chose them at the end of it because I was like, this is just too much for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm being intentionally vague here, but we're working something out here. So what I'm saying is, like, I had nothing to compare it to. So I could not have imagined, like, being the way that I am with you with a female, like, back then. I could not have imagined that. Like, that was just not anywhere in my radar at all.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, and then obviously with the most previous relationship, like, I jumped into that shit to get, you know what I'm saying? So I now have things I can compare with when I'm like, okay, with her, I would never give it up. With this one, I signed up to get away from her. With this one, I left it all behind, you know what I'm saying, to be with her. So,
I see, yeah.
So now I have comparisons. Yeah. I can compare things. But there is nothing to compare when you're young and it's your first love and it's your first whatever. There's no comparison. So you think it's the end all be all. And then when it's gone, you end up, you know, in this situation like what they're talking about. Lovers spurned took their revenge, lying to themselves tonight. Once consumed, they turn into ash in the cold blue light. Those who can't take the pain, they extinguish the spark of life. For love is a confident companion in the night. That is a good point, though.
Yeah.
Because, like, when you have that experience, it's mind-boggling to me, like, how such an early experience can do that. Like, it can really dictate. And it's true. Like my friend, my number one homie, blah, 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 like, he took a lot of vengeance on girls because of, like, previous heartbreaks, you know? It was, like, one of those things where, like, once he figured out how to play the game, you know what I'm saying, like, with girls or whatever, it was clear, like, he was taking out his pain on this new set of girls.
One.
So it was obvious, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So it's just fascinating how toxic what we're calling love or those emotions or that pain can make a person. Like, if you go into a relationship and you're like, and one of your number one priorities is to dodge pain, like, you're gonna be a very, very horrible partner because you're gonna keep a lot of yourself out away from that person to make yourself invulnerable to that kind of pain, and you're going to be a certain kind of person. You have to go into the if you're going to, like, make the thing work, you have to go into the relationship saying, okay, I'm willing to absorb a certain amount of pain because that's what it means to be in a relationship. When you get too, I don't care what you want to call it, sinful people, selfish people, whatever, we all know that we're all not perfect. Okay, so when you bring two imperfect people together for any period of time, they're going to hurt each other. So if you go into a relationship and you're like, yo, now obviously, like, there's a difference between you ran into cross purposes with somebody's selfishness and then you got hurt as a byproduct of it versus being with an abusive person whose aim is to hurt you.
Right.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about just the normal exigencies of life when two selfish people get together and... you know, they're gonna inevitably hurt each other because that's just the facts of life. And what happens is, like, you got hurt initially, you got hurt before, and then the person does something and they're not they just happen to not be a perfect person. So now you're gonna say, oh, that's what that other person did, and then the defenses go up and it becomes very, very horrible and extremely toxic. Like, you gotta find a way to get out of that mentality to be able to sit there and, like, give not only the person a shot, but give yourself an opportunity to actually experience, you know, real love, because it's worth the risk, in my view, anyway. So, anyway,
you really worded that very beautifully.
Well, you know, there you go. I'm on my nootropics, so, and I'm like half here and half not because I feel like an absolute zombie right now. But go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, so I just really, I loved the lyrics. I liked that they used a concept that was different than I'd ever seen somebody do with that before.
Yeah.
What they pulled together. I listened to a lot of country when I was like a teenager. So like the kind of country sound to me is something that I enjoy. And I thought that the 50s kind of rock element being thrown in on the side was kind of cool. It wouldn't be a song that I would like hear and I'd be like, let me add that to my playlist. But it's definitely...
it seemed that it has hit you in a very emotional spot.
Well, yeah.
What?
It has, especially after your explanation.
Oh, okay. Do I get a lot of good, I get good credit for that? Is this going to
yes.
work somehow in my favor?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, then good.
I'll make
Excellent.
you cookies.
Excellent. I will, this will go into the rating of the song. Rate the song.
9.2.
I feel that, Vid. I'm on like 3 meds for bronchitis right now. I feel like I'm partial to... Yeah, like the big problem that I'm having right now is like the moral implications of like going to the gym. You know, like you were saying, love your neighbor. But you know how obsessive my personality is. So I'm like, motherfucker.
I know.
I'm missing another day.
I keep asking myself, I'm like, is the sauna hot enough? Maybe it would just kind of kill everything off. And then I'm like, I don't know. I can't do that to people.
I really like the song, though. This is a solid 9 for me. I love the guitar work. Very interesting / dangerous lyrics to dive into. But we dove into it, dear.
We did.
Listener!
Yes.
All right. We shall return. There is more music to review. I give it a 9. What'd you give it?
9.2.
All right, we shall return. Fit out.
Sori out.
Go. Oh my God. I'm Ben.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull
You
that off.
can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord,
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
and they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Yeah. Buy our merch indeed, and a child shall lead them to buy our merch. Middle, I was laughing at your message because you were saying, good for us for sucking it up and doing this stream. I agree. Although I was like, man, some people have like really difficult jobs. We just go, we sit, we listen to music. I'm like, let's just do it. Let's just go to work. And Vinny was like, yep. So we loaded up and jumped on in. I'm still waiting for him to get back. He probably got bamboozled by one of the children when he went out there. Yep, he did. Revo, he vanished. It's weird because I was doing something, I didn't even see him leave. Make sure you guys are taking plenty of medicine. Revo, I'll tell you, I don't like medicine at all. I can't stand how nasty it is, so I don't take stuff when I'm sick. Vin, I don't think really takes anything either. I might take like Tylenol, but that's it. Nothing else. Cough syrup and all that stuff. Ugh, no, thank you. I'll rather cough. You know what? I never get the flu shot. I never do. And I don't know. The people that I talk to, it seems that they think the flu shot is good and they get it and then they get really sick. I don't know. Maybe it's all the same. Maybe it's better. Maybe it's where I don't know. I haven't done the work on it. I just prefer not to get it. Sorry, let's just do a Beatles song. We cannot. Unfortunately. What do you think is the best Beatles song, Dwayne? Like the best all time, even if we've listened to it. Which one's the best?
What are you talking
about? Here he's returned. Well, first they were talking about
tea?
What?
No tea for me, eh?
No, honey, that was from yesterday. That's cold. It's old.
It's cold, old, disgusting.
Mm-hmm. You should drink your
Oh, my plexus is there. I forgot.
All right.
Okay, we have returned. Vin can't hang. How dare you? How dare you? All right, guys. Song numero tres. Cold Cave, Oceans with No End. Is there a little thingamajiggy?
There is. This is the winner of our rapid fire free-for-all poll, where our anarchists were given pretty much free reign to submit anything they wanted that fit our core genres. But since that's pretty much everything not covered by another alliance, it's nearly anything goes. That's funny. Submitted by users SGS1118. Cold Cave is a one-man artist from LA known for blending a bunch of our core genres. Post-punk, new wave, synth, and a whole bunch of goth make this a very fitting pick for the poll. Ah, okay.
All
Let's do it.
All right, let's see it. Let's see it.
Cold Cave, Oceans with No End.
Once I hear synth, I go, oh.
Yeah.
I think I have a sneeze coming, unfortunately. Cold Cave, Oceans with No End. Vin couldn't hang. How dare you? You have no idea the things I've hung in. Let me tell you.
You have no idea who I am. That's what you're supposed to say.
Oh, it sounds like my type of 80s shit. Doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, this is my shit. comments tonight are brutal.
Why people didn't like it?
I
Crap
believe
music?
this is crap music.
No, I really liked this.
Solitude goes much worse than the last song.
Oh no, I thought this was great. I felt
I
like this
love
should
this song.
You did too?
Yeah.
Babe, well then add this to our playlist.
Yeah, we
both liked it.
There was I'm pretty sure it was an A99 pick, but it was that same like 80s style. I don't know how to say it, with the guy from London, like, you know, the vocalist sounds like he's from London, like he's from you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but like I love that template. Like I've never heard a bad song with that template.
Nice.
The synthy stuff with the guy from Britain with the accent singing, like that shit to me is like bank. They probably made like 10,000 songs like that in the 80s. I don't give a fuck. It's all the same song. You know what I'm saying? It's like
it's great.
The you know, the angular what do you call it? Earrings and the pink and the neon colors and the crazy hairspray. Like you like, it
was the best.
Pretty sure the 80s pretty much doomed the environment.
Probably.
All that fucking aerosol shit that they were spraying in the air. All that shit. I mean, we were
right. Everybody was using it.
We caught the very, very end tail end of the 80s, but I'm sure that period must. Like, we talk about that from time to time. Like that would have been fun to be like in the 80s.
My parents were always rolling in circles that were behind the times anyway. So by the time the 90s are rolling around, we were like the 80s.
Still running around with the 80s hairstyle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and look at this picture, bro. Look at that picture. That's a badass picture too.
Oh yeah.
That's a badass picture.
Yeah, it is.
Vin and Sori are both high on NyQuil. You cannot trust their judgments.
Yeah, you wish, Dwayne. I don't take that stuff.
It's pretty ironic. It's true, you don't. It's only you and I know why that's so ironic.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like, I'll tell you offline and shout. Bring this song up to me offline.
You always forget to tell me after.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
Forget to ask.
Bring the song. Bring the song offline. BC says, I'm the best thing that ever happened in the 80s. True, BC. True, BC. Lyrically, I don't know what the hell the boy was saying, though.
Oh, really?
What are you? Okay, well, go ahead. Help us out.
Okay, well, he said, I wanted you to explain this beginning part. Predestination and I am.
What?
Whoops. Am I not in the right spot?
Oh, those are the lyrics they have?
Oceans with no end? Is that what we just did?
Yeah, but I got the lyrics from Google. So I don't know which one, like...
Predestination, I'm not here? No, I think this is right. Predestination and I am.
Okay, we'll just go with those lyrics, because those lyrics actually make a lot more sense to me. Donald, you were supposed to send me an email, my man. I don't know if you forgot or if I didn't check. Let me get these lyrics. Maybe these are the right lyrics here. Because these lyrics make a little bit more sense to me than the one that I got on Check Google. All right, go ahead.
Predestination and I am. Predestination and I was your friend. No hesitation on my end. Predestination and all life must end. So I thought he was saying, like, basically it was decided, then he existed. It was decided and he became her friend, and that he didn't hesitate, like, from himself toward her. But then... I wasn't, the last line there, I was a little bit confused, so I was like, oh, maybe you'll pull something out of there that will bring that a little bit more clarity. But then he just says, waiting for a train in Harvard Square, waiting for the world to take me anywhere, thought of you for the first time in 5 years, I love my life, but whatever happened to you? You keep hearing, he keeps going through just making it like he's okay. I got from it that he was trying to make it look like he's okay. Oh, this is the first time in 5 years that I've thought of you. But it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like, I mean, you created an entire song about saying that you only thought of her once in 5 years. That doesn't seem realistic. Like it seemed to me that, and he talks about holes in his heart, and I just thought that it was just his way of, like, trying to, like, get past her, but not being able to. Almost like the last song that we just listened to, the lyrics of, like, the ghost fire. Like, this was, like, the after.
Yeah.
That's what I got from it. What did...
Why are you assuming he's talking about a girl, though? Could be a best friend.
It could be. It could be, but you know me.
But
it's
always
about
a relationship song. It's always a relationship. It's what we had this friend Moises, and he always used to make fun of Reef because Reef was like, I want a relationship. So Moises, he'd be like, Reef always wants a relationship.
Aw.
A relationship.
That's so sad.
It wasn't sad, man. We were 16 years old, bro. What you mean? Come on.
So, maybe you want to start a family early?
Man, listen. Predestination and I am, and I was your friend. So I think, it starts off with friendship. No hesitation on my end. Predestination on my life message.
You know what? I've never had like a really good friend. So maybe that's why I make everything about a relationship. Is because you've been the best friend that I've ever had, and I'm in a relationship with you. So maybe that's why I always just boop.
That's
maybe
very,
I don't really have a category for like
possible.
a friend that's
you're
that
a
intense.
girl and you guys just romanticize everything. That's also part of it. So maybe it was one of those things where he's saying they were destined to be together. Whether friend, hey, Tony the Lone Rider.
Hey, what's up?
Holy shit, we gotta get a. We
can say hello to you without worrying about getting you sick as we are.
We gotta get a. What do you call that? We gotta get the old school.
Yeah.
DJ Tony. Holy shit, I haven't seen him in a long time. Okay. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Already in progress. Really good to see you, big homie. So it looks like they were like destined to be together, whether they're friends or girlfriends, whatever, right? And he didn't hesitate. He went right into it, and then he goes all the way to the end of the story and says, "Look, all life must end." So I think that's kind of the way that he justifies how their relationship ended.
Oh.
Because, like, he's like, they were friends, they were predestined to be friends, but somehow the relationship ended, and the justification is, well, that ended, but all life is going to end, so eventually the relationship is going to end anyway. See what I'm saying? Yep. So that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Waiting for a train in Harvard Square, waiting for the world to take me anywhere, thought of you the first time in 5 years, I love my life. But you, whatever happened to you? I'm not sure that that's wrong, or that he's like using that as a defense mechanism. It's very possible that he could love his life without this person. You know what I'm saying?
But then he talks about holes in the road into my heart.
Yeah, like you can love an imperfect life. That's the thing. Like your life doesn't have to be perfect for you to love it. I don't think it's delusional for him to say that he loves his life while simultaneously realizing that, as you go through this world, you're gonna get wounded, you're gonna get punctured. Your heart's gonna get punctured, but you could still love your life in spite of that. Right?
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think so. I just wouldn't have interpreted the song that way. So you're saying he knows that he doesn't have a perfect life, but he loves it, and he really does only think of her once in 5 years?
Well, again, you're assuming it's a her. You're assuming it's a romantic relationship. But I mean,
that friendship.
I've had that experience.
Why write a song about something that you only think about once in 5 years?
Well, he didn't say I only think about you once every 5 years. That's not what he said. He said I thought of you the first time in 5 years. So he's probably sitting down. Oh, whatever happened to that person? And the song comes out. I don't think it's.
Oh.
What? How are you looking at it though? What are you saying that he's doing, like he's in denial here?
Well, that's what I thought it was. I thought he was trying to make himself seem like he was good with it,
But he's really
like,
not.
I love my life. I love, like when people like say things and then you're like, who are you trying to convince, yourself or us, or you know what I mean? Like,
I see what you're saying.
I thought it was more like one of those.
Okay. So keep going with it then.
I thought I already did. I thought I had explained this.
Oh, that's the whole song? What about there are fields inside of me, there are flowers growing,
then
and rivers
over there I
flowing
would
to
have just
oceans with no
there
end?
yeah, I don't know, because I actually didn't focus on that one. So there are fields inside of me, flowers are growing, because I think that sounds more to your point. There are fields inside me, there are flowers growing and rivers flowing to oceans without, like he within himself, like maybe he came to a place where he was able to, like, yeah, he moved on and he does enjoy his life. There's good things coming from him, and there's oceans without end. I mean, of course, oceans without end could be positive or negative, but
yeah, I just think it's like, I mean, it could be like he couldn't get over this relationship that he lost or whatever. But I just think that...
You think it's just him being content, like he's okay?
No, I just think that, you know, it's a little bit different with you. You've never had that sensation because you've stayed pat the same place. He's talking about going somewhere else, wherever the world takes him, right? So he's traveling all over the place. But when you move around, you do have those situations where you forget about people that were very significant to you because you're in a new place and you're new people, and there's a practical aspect of setting up in your new place, but there's also the relational aspect of you're meeting new people. They're completely different. Trust me, when we move, like 5 years ago behind, you'd be like, oh shit, whatever happened to so-and-so? Like, that's just how it goes. So to me, as a person who moved around a lot, this song makes a lot of sense. Like, after a while, there's people that played a very significant role in your life, but you're no longer around those people, and then sometimes out of the blue for no reason, those images and those people just kind of pop up in your head, and you go, yeah, whatever happened to that person? You know what I'm saying? And then you realize, like, damn, I actually do miss that person, or I would enjoy that person's company again. And then you realize over time, like, yeah, there's holes in your heart. Like, I still remember Tyler. Tyler's my best friend. I love the dude. Second grade. Shout out to Tyler Aldrich. Like, my first Valentine, like, we exchanged Valentine cards and shit. And I was on the bus, and I was so proud. I was like, hey, this is what Tyler got me for Valentine's. They were making fun of me. I didn't understand anything. We were just kids. You know what I'm saying? We used to hold hands. We used to, you know, whatever. And, like, it was just pure friendship. You know what I'm saying? And obviously the older kids would, like, make fun of us and stuff like that. But it was like, you know, we were second graders. Girls were still icky. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was me and him, and we used to read Encyclopedia Brown, and, like, we'd go on these, like, mysteries, try to figure out who stole somebody's pencil, all types of shit.
Oh, that's so cute.
Like, he was very, very important to me. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it was like, yo, second grade, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, well, what you on? Like, you guys were second graders. Like, it's not that big of a deal as far as, like, the grand scheme of things. But so you find over time, like, you do have these holes in your heart where you do miss people, or they were significant to you and they're not there anymore because you moved. And it's finding a way to, like, combine the practical reality of you're no longer around those people with the sort of whimsical, yeah, but you were still important to me. And I think, like, it doesn't have to be either or. Like, people try to, like, choose or make themselves choose, like, oh, this person, you know, they'll say things like, oh, if you're not friends anymore, you were never friends in the first place. Or if they did this, they were never really your friend. Like, all these, like, crazy, extreme sorts of, like, the person has to be, like, you have to, like, make a covenant in blood where you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not how the real world operates. Like, you can really, truly be in it with a person, be friends with a person, and then for whatever reason, Vlad! I was just thinking about Vlad! Holy shit, all my favorite people are here. Oh my god. I was just talking about, like, people that you say whatever happened to that person, and then boom, here Vlad shows up, and I was just thinking about Vlad. Like, oh my god, I wish I could see Vlad.
Yay!
Vlad in the house! Oh my god, I'm so happy. Okay. Yeah, so, yeah. Like there's people on this channel, you know, I'll probably never see again. You know what I'm saying? And I'm at peace with that, but at the same time, like, you can say, like, damn, like, I miss this person or whatever happened to that person. It doesn't have to be either or. And you could still say, I love my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think you're right.
So that's how I looked at it. I thought the song was really, really...
It was deeper then.
Was really brilliant. Holy shit, we got Ian here. We got a lot of really cool people in here today. Shout out to Vlad.
Everybody
Tappas.
came through for us because we don't feel well
because so the Lord rewarded me. Because we're sitting here doing this thing even though I'm under the weather. We're both under the weather. Like Lilo, yes. Did I tell you I talked to Lilo like a couple weeks ago?
What?
Yeah.
And?
I found an old video. And I commented and I said, hey, I hope you're doing okay. And she responded. She says, yes, I'm still doing okay. Basically, you're still a delusional idiot, whatever. But it was good. It was good. It was, yeah, you know, I hope everything's good. Whatever.
Oh, that's
shout out to Lilo. Gang. But anyway, I really like the song. It was to me it's like a facts. It was a facts of life song. Ha!
Yeah, with a
DJ
cool
Mike
sound.
coming back soon.
With a cool sound.
Yeah, it was a brilliant. Like I said, I love that sound. I'm always gonna love that sound. I forgot the name of the freaking song. It was an A99 song, and it was a relationship song. It was about love or something like that. But anyway, I forgot. But anyway, shout out to all our friends, all the friends that we've had in the past, and all the new friends we'll make in the future. Really, really, really enjoyed all of your guys' company. For real, for real, for real. Okay, this is a 9.4 for May.
Oh, it's a 9.8 for me.
Donald's best friend since 1965. He lives on the West Coast. His name is Trade. Or Trade.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Trade. Okay, guys. This is a 9.4 for me. What'd you give it?
9.8.
9.8. Okay, we have one more song. We shall return. Oh my God! How did he know? Yes, it was the Vora song. Holy shit! This guy Neil Murray. I'm almost about to give him a free
That's
song.
Neil. Neil, good job.
Hey, it was Vora. That shit was like 2.5, 3 years ago almost. Holy shit! Yes, it was Vora. I'm gonna find that song right now. I'm gonna put it on my playlist. Damn it. Sometimes you guys will see me on my phone while a song is going on. That's because I'm putting it on my playlist. Because I've learned, after years, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's going on the playlist, and I always forget.
I know, yeah.
So I'm just going to do that shit. Vara, Vin, and Sori. What was the name of that song?
There couldn't have been too many of them, right?
Incomplete Burning! That was the name of the song! And it was his pick. Holy shizzle.
Oh, Neil, you didn't have to say that. You could have just stayed right up there on the top for knowing the information.
All right, guys. We got one more song coming for you. We shall return. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone. It's good to know. No fever or sore throat, but really uncomfortable belly cramps and weird dumps. And on that note, we are going to
shout out to Vlad.
We are a family-friendly organization. I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
Rubbish. That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Bar merch.
Believe it or not, Vin is gone again. I also ran to get a blanket because it feels really cold in this room we're in. I don't know why. Our landlord probably is turning down the heat for everybody. Who knows? All right. Oh, let's see. Let me bring up the comments. BC, gross. You're saying too much. You're saying too much. Yep, you made it to the live stream. Whoa, Ian, how do you know that? How do you know that that was the date?
What was the date?
He said he knows exactly when he started watching, November 19th, 2018.
Was that Ian?
Yeah.
Ian Kirby?
Yeah. It's crazy.
All right.
All right.
I still went to work, though, like a selfish asshole. Well, you're in a capitalist seats in Laban, my boy.
Oh.
So, it's not like you had much of a choice. What was the camera angle here?
You always ask that.
This is such a good one.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It looks like it was right in front of us, literally.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
But I think, yeah.
Oh, it's a Die Artist murder reaction. Yeah, we got a lot of subs on that Die Artist murder reaction.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when I threw everything up in the air?
Yes. How could I forget? I was like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Okay. All right, go ahead. Tell the people what's next on the stream.
Okay, last song. Izthmi. Wait, is that how you pronounce that?
I don't know.
The Arrows of Our Ways. This is from...
The Arrows of Our Ways?
Mm-hmm. That's what it says
yeah.
here. So this is Extreme Underground's pick, which the leader of this group is Helendra.
Dwayne started watching during the infamous Imagine
No
reaction.
way, really? I'm surprised you came back.
I gave the thing a 9-something. Like, why wouldn't he come back?
Don't yell at me.
Why wouldn't he come back? He knows that wasn't Lennon's best offering. He knows that.
Oh, man. Our kids are in a conversation with some other kids. They call it the campfire. Anyway.
Oh, no.
They don't know it, but I can see all their messages coming up on this computer right now.
Excellent.
Anyway, let's read this, and I'll give them their privacy. I won't read.
Hell
this
no.
Is
Where is this?
I'll elbow you the next time one comes through.
Okay.
This is the song Prog Pro picked as the prize for the winning the Win One, Get One poll. Here is what Pro has to say about it. When I was younger and I first got into more underground metal, I found communities online to talk about music with, since I didn't know many people in real life who share the same taste as me.
See, there it is, real life.
I made plenty of friends over and over the years through this, and one of them went on to become a member of this band.
Whoa.
We bonded over our love for bands like Opeth and Agalosh. And now, all of these years later, he's playing in a band where I can hear those influences. I've known him since I was around 14, and now I'm 25. I remember being excitedly messaged about the release of this album and the good reception it got in a broader underground metal community. And I chose this song because it's my favorite. The lyrics mean a lot to me because of the current political climate the world is in right now. He recently left Izthmi, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, I'm sorry, to focus on his life, but I am proud of the 2 albums that he got to be part of. There it goes. And I'm excited for whatever the band does next. I hope you enjoy.
The Arrows of Our Ways, dear listener. The Arrows of Our Ways by Izthmi. Spying on your familial citizen. What a surveillance state. Absolutely. There is no... This is a complete fascist state in this fucking household. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
All right.
Oh my God.
Here we are. Arrows of Our Ways. Izthmi. Let's go. Oh, yes.
Ooh, okay.
Sounds epic.
All right.
Sounds black metal-y.
Yeah.
A lot of tremolo. Let's go.
Sounds clean. It's good. I like it. Wow.
of the night for me. Song of the night for me.
Yeah,
everybody
this is
knows,
a good one. This is a really good one.
Everybody knows I am a disciple of the tremolo picking style. I love tremolo picking. It's so freaking beautiful when it's done right. We've got a song that's pretty tremolo heavy. That's very, very difficult to play. I actually want to play it as soon as we get done this thing.
There we go.
You've
We're almost done.
Butchered the course, my lady. You've butchered the course.
It's ruined.
That's why I play it. That's why you're like, oh, send me the copy. I'm not sending you shit. We've practiced this thing 1,000,000 times, and then when it's time for you to say, I know you haven't been practicing. I know you haven't been practicing. It's so annoying when you ask me for this shit, and I know you haven't been practicing.
But you have to send it to me at some point so I can practice.
We have a tremolo heavy song, dear listener, where I am asking her to dig deep. Oh, my goodness gracious. Lyrically, this song was great. This song was the song of the night for me. Holy shizzle whizzle. I definitely need to hear. Yeah, and it was a blend of a lot of different styles. There was a lot of dissonance there that I'm not even. They're just. I love. Vin is medicated. That's the only. I'm actually not medicated. That's part of my problem. Actually. Here, let me drink some of my medication. Go ahead. Tell the people how the song hit you.
Oh, it was just... I liked the sounds, the way that the sounds were coming together. I was enjoying it. I don't usually like this style, but then I was going with it. I was good enough with the song. But then when I looked over to get the lyrics, because you made a reaction, and I was like, "Yo, I'm missing something with these lyrics."
Yeah,
and
you are.
so
Perkinos! My night is complete. My night is complete. We had blood, and now there's Perkinos, and now the Lord has blessed me for my faithfulness to the community and my faithfulness to you, keeping you in the band and not kicking you out. Go ahead.
So I wasn't looking at the lyrics. I was just like listening to it, and then when you made that reaction, I looked over. And it was like right around the end, the blood flows and we see ourselves for the first time. And I was like, yo, this song is deep. What's happening? So then I just like started paying attention more to the lyrics after that. But, I want to be able to read the beginning of it. I just got them up over here, to get the beginning of the song. But I don't usually like this type of music, but I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah. The name of the song is The Arrow of Our Ways. And that's the phrase is usually the error of our ways.
Right.
So the arrow is the error, meaning our propensity to kill each other, to harm each other. Right? So as the arrows of our ways sink beneath the skin, the blood of our victims we find akin to ours, to our own. So finding some way to see in the enemy ourselves,
right?
You know, and like,
right,
we're at the point now where like people literally want the opposition to die.
I know.
I'm not talking about like terrorism or something like that, like oh, these people crashed a plane into a building, so people are gonna have to die over that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, I'm a progressive, I'm a this, I'm a that. And they literally, like, wish death on each other. I remember, like, it's just... the ugliness is so, like... You got people, you know, showing up to kill... Like, you know, it just happened at the Q Club, these LGBT people, and they ended up getting shot all over the place. They got killed. And, like, the first instinct with both of these groups wasn't to be like, fuck, man, we just lost these beautiful people. The
just
first instinct was to dig in on Facebook of the shooter and say, what side was he on? So that we could say, oh, look. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And it wasn't, you know, I shot a Middle America video on it, and, you know, I didn't mention the name once of the person who did it. And I'm trying not to say, like, the evil motherfucker, blah, blah, blah. Because all of us fall into, like, dehumanizing language. Like, I try to, you know, try to stay away from using language like that. But I just remember being like so sad about the situation, particularly with that LGBT club, because I knew both sides were going to dehumanize the victims.
Yep.
And that's what we're not realizing. There was, TYT, they jumped on it, they started reporting, and of course they looked into the Facebook, and the guy's a Republican, he's a Republican boss, and Republicans did this, and if you listen to TYT, like, Republicans are like the worst people on the planet, they're monsters. They constantly use this dehumanizing language relative to people on the right all the time, like there's no redeeming qualities. Then you go to Matt Walsh, and it turns out the guy has, or that this individual has they them pronouns and goes by Caesar or whatever. And so Matt Walsh was like spiking the football, and it's like both sides don't realizing there are fucking people that died in that fucking club, bro. And both sides are just basically, those dead bodies were just dragged out as props to confirm on the TYT side how horrible Republicanism is, and then it confirmed on the Matt Walsh side, look how crazy these people are in this community, blah blah blah. And like both sides really, it was like there were people that died, and it's the same thing like the Uvalde situation, like,
and those people that died all have family that is just seeing that happen. Like, can you imagine, like,
correct. It's the same thing in Uvalde situation. It wasn't like, yo, our kids died. We got another a litter of little kids, and like, 4 or 5 years they could have been those kids at Uvalde. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like there was no national mourning that these kids died. It was immediately like, it's the gun-loving Republicans, and then the gun-loving Republicans were like, it's the, it's just like, yo, man, like, we're losing our humanity. We're losing the ability to look at that other person across from us and say, yo, like, I got strident. There are people on the Middle America channel, man. I fight with like cats and dogs, bro. But like, death should be the equalizer,
right?
When you get to the point where people are like dying and shit, like, it shouldn't. And I understand, like, at some level, we do have to talk about the gun issue in America and all that. I understand, like, there's a time and a place for it, but we're always using people's dead bodies as props to validate our political. And it's one of the reasons. It's one of the reasons I think that we're also. It's hard to communicate to people about abortion, because it's like, when you're in a country that the minute people die, they're not centered, but the political party becomes the talking point. Like, wow,
that's interesting.
You're not allowed to just be shocked anymore at the fact that people are dying, that human beings are dying, because the bodies are just being used as props. Nobody,
so everybody's like, "Okay, what's next? What's coming next?"
Yeah, and you already have a layer of scar tissue. I think a lot of like, not just Americans. I just think modern people are just simultaneously traumatized and desensitized. I think there's like this cycle of trauma and desensitization that happens. That I saw in the hood. I saw in the Bronx, where the first time it was crazy. Like, the first time I saw somebody get cut, it was like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, I saw somebody get shot, like, years later, I saw so many things happen, took part in so many things. Then I saw somebody get shot, and it was just like, whoa, like, what's going on with him? Like, it was like a sideshow almost. And, like,
wow.
His friends were like, tell him to stay awake. And then his other friends were like, yo, it was these guys, it was the niggas from Vane, blah, blah, blah. Dudes were like, guns are just out there, boom, tooling up, and people were calling the cops, the EMT or whatever, to get the whatever, and then other people were saying, no, don't call anybody, and they were like, oh, we don't call the cops. It's like, no, it's not the cops, it's the EMT, we gotta get him an ambulance. It was just a crazy, chaotic situation. And I was observing it, I felt absolutely nothing, and I remember being on the train, and I was flirting with this girl, and the situation had just happened.
Wow.
I got on the train, like, the EMTs picked him up or whatever, and I got on the train, and I was flirting with some girl or whatever. We were going back and forth, and I just remember thinking to myself, like, yo, somebody just got shot. Like,
Wow.
I don't even know if that dude was alive anymore. And the other thing was, I knew other people were about to get shot. You know what I'm saying? Because those people were like, those Latin kings, they were not playing around. Like, I knew they were about to shoot. That's why I was like, yo, I'm out of here. Like, but I had just been desensitized to it. So like, there's this trauma desensitization loop that all of us are in, and it's very hard for us to get out of it, especially as Americans. You hear things about, we were in Afghanistan for 20 years. We were here for 20 years. We did this, we did that. And like, I get frustrated because I'm like, oh, Americans don't care. It's like, well, then you've seen XYZ thing. You've seen, I've been to places and I've seen like, yo, this is what this means. So like, if you see on the news report, like this drone thing actually hit an innocent person, like people don't know what that looks like. Then I think to myself like, well, then people need to know what that looks like. Then I'm like, nah, bro, because it doesn't matter. We would just be traumatized and then desensitized by it, because we still have to, you know, it's you know, some of it it's a worldview issue, because like, what is a human being? You know, they're talking about love is the truth, it's our life, the glowing gateway to the divine. Yeah. Like, I think secularism is ultimately just going to collapse on itself, because it's impossible to run a society with the idea that you're just a cosmic accident. Because it's impossible to talk about the crime. What is a crime against humanity? That's an assumption that there's something about humanity that's special that should be protected. Right. But if you're just going with the cold, you know, pitiless indifference that Christopher Hitchens talked about, which is, or Bertrand Russell talked about, which is, you know, all you have to hang your hope on is death. You know, as Bertrand Russell said in the Free Man's Worship, that little thing that he did. Like, I don't care what people say. This is not a secularist manifesto. Like, there's something like where he's like searching for some sort of divine or some sort of arbiter to get us to get along with each other. You know what I'm saying? And there's got to be something more to human beings than just, oh, we're just here to pass on genes and all the rest of it. Like, that shit doesn't make sense. Right. How do we create songs like this if that's the case? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is an unbelievable song. Sidling idly by, we fail to understand how to fill the hole and embrace the heart and shed the weight of autophagy. Yet with one-dimensional wisdom, we rebuke an infinite glory shrouding the light that's feared all time. Holy shit. This dude can write his ass off. Yeah. I mean, he is... Yet with one-dimensional wisdom, we'd rebuke an infinite glory. That's just insane. I kind of look at the modern Western world that way. It's like the teenager that still lives in his dad's house, but is like rebelling against his dad's rule and saying his dad's rules are old-fashioned, but you still live in the house. It's like, here's what the modern Western man has inherited: a culture that's foundationalized by Christian thought. And now you've got, you know, young teenagers who've been to the moon and all the rest of it saying dumb shit like we don't need that foundation anymore. Okay, well, what are you going to replace that foundation with? Right. And that's what Nietzsche struggled with. That was one of Nietzsche's major struggles, and that's why Nietzsche predicted millions of people are going to die after the death of God. And then Nietzsche's idea was, okay, well, out of that morass will emerge a Superman that's going to figure out how to do all this shit without God. And it's like, well, you were right in the first half, Nietzsche. We got our world wars, but we still haven't figured it out. You know, the Ubermensch has not arisen from the ashes, Nietzsche. And all that's happened is all of us have become Untermensch to one another. Subhuman to one another. That's what's happened. Is that you've got, you know, TYT. People are like, why are you still watching TYT? Look, TYT has 20 billion views. They're extremely influential. And it's the same thing. Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh. I mean, these guys are polar opposites, but both of these groups, I disagree at the fundamental level with both of these groups. But you have, in my view, I have to continue to watch what they're saying and watch what they're saying because they're influencing literally millions of people a billion times over. So you can get discouraged when you think about it, or you could say, as Perkinos is saying, Westerners currently are just the rebellious sons of Christendom. Our ideas of human rights assume natural rights, which assumes natural laws, which assumes there is a God. Sadat. Correct. And so you've got these arrogant, ignorant Westerners playing around with all types of shit. Playing around with all types of silly ideas. Let's redefine everything. We can just, it's like Chesterton said, like, look, man, if you see guardrails,
they're there for a reason.
You better fucking make sure you know why the fuck those guardrails are there.
Remove them.
Before you decide to remove them. Because it could be very possible that a family of 4 could be careening off of a cliff because you're so smart and you're so progressive and you're so advanced that you didn't need those guardrails. No, we need the guardrails. We need the guardrails, and Nietzsche was right, and he was also wrong, and that's been proven by the mess we find ourselves in the modern world. You got people talking about rights. I was talking to a guy. He goes, your correlation between slavery and abortion is wrong, and I said, how's that?
Yeah.
He said, well, we haven't given rights to fetuses. I said, did you hear what the fuck? It is a black guy that said this to me. I said, did you hear what the fuck you just said? We haven't given rights to fetuses? So, like...
Wow.
The people that were treating you like chattel fucking 200 years ago, they didn't give you rights either, so that's okay. But that goes to the fundamental point. Who gives you rights? Where do rights come from? Why do those Ukrainian people have the right to have their land not invaded? Which I agree with, by the way. And why do those Russian people have the right not to be threatened by the lone superpower in the world? Both those groups are ultimately arguing for rights. The Russians are saying, hey, we have the right to not be threatened by you.
Right.
And your thugs over there in NATO. We have the right to fucking live in some semblance of security. And the Ukrainians are saying, we have the right not to be invaded by a hostile power that's more powerful than us. Where do those come from? And so the minute that you lift a third party arbiter away from people, which is what the modern secular humanists have done, there's no third party arbiter now who can say this far and this much and no further. It's just us. So it's like, look, if we're playing backyard football, okay, and I'm 6'2", 250, or 6'6", 250, and you are, 5, my height, and then we have a disagreement, but there's no rule book, who's going to decide what's what? Well, the stronger guy. Okay? So now you've got this situation where people legitimately believe that the government gives them rights. Which is all you have. So now the state becomes God. The state confers on you all of your rights. The fundamental one being your right to actually live. Now you have millions of people who truly believe that the state has the right to determine that. And now we're talking about euthanizing people fucking next door in Canada. And I was talking about that years ago. I'm like, we're going to be talking about...
Yep,
and I'm like, you combine the state running healthcare with the concept that the state can determine who lives or dies, and you get The Giver. You know, that dystopian sci-fi novel where the fucking state determines that it's time for you to be released because you're no longer a contributing member to society. And there's no way philosophically to argue out of that morass. So at the same time, like, I don't believe that such a worldview can ever become a dominant worldview over time, because those things are inherently cannibalistic. So, for example, all the people that believe that it's cool to kill children in the name of choice or whatever, you know, they're by definition not going to be able to have a group of people that are going to carry that worldview on into the next generation. That worldview is going to die with them. Meanwhile, the people that believe that everybody has a right to life, if you just do the math, in 30 or 40 years, it's impossible for the culture of death to win. Because it's a culture of death. It's inherently cannibalistic. So that's one of the reasons I'm so optimistic about the future.
Right.
It's because truth is more powerful than error. I don't believe that evil has actual ontology in the world. Evil is simply the absence of good. Good has actual existence in the world. Light has actual ontology. All darkness is the absence of light. All evil is the absence of good. It doesn't sustain itself within itself. Even Satan is not completely and totally evil. He was created good. He has the absence of evil. He's got the absence of grace. So I believe on a philosophical and mathematical grounding that it is impossible for evil to win, because evil doesn't have any autonomy, doesn't have any self-existence. It's simply the absence of something. So I love the song. Very, very, very deep lyricism.
Yeah.
Brilliant guitar work. Really brilliant. This is like a combination of like Decibel Omega. There was some like really dissonant, like, whoa, this doesn't make sense. Whoa, this is violating some of the rules of, you know, basic guitar theory. But wow, this was a really, really, really good band with really brilliant, thoughtful. This is a 10 for me for sure.
This is a 9.85 for me.
9.85.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a good one.
Holy shit. That's why I quit my job at the weed dispensary in Quebec. Only the state can sell, which is pure hypocrisy. Yeah, man. Canada, man, is Canada is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, guys. Thank you very, very much. Thank you guys for hanging out. Shout out to Vlad, all the beautiful people that showed up, all our old friends.
Yep. If we're not significantly worse tomorrow, then we'll be back tomorrow at the same time.
Same bad time, same bad channel. Love all you beautiful people. Hope you guys enjoyed the night. We are committed to this shit, as you can see.
Good job.
Will our soup be prepared?
Yes.
Then out.
Sorry out.
Gone.